Hello and good morning, Foothill. I'm Ron Buelna. You're watching World News Today at 9 a.m. Today we'll be talking about the Federal Reserve System. And to discuss it, we have Brian Esterhold here. Hello, Brian. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Ron. Yeah, the Federal Reserve is a tricky thing to learn about. Being the central banking system of America and having been established on December 23rd, 1913, over 100 years ago, it's definitely something very important that everyone should know about. And you know what, Ron? What the purpose of the FED was and still is to provide this nation with a safe, flexible, and more stable monetary and financial system.
Wow, how fascinating. As we continue, we'll be going into sports. Sports of the banks competing and cracking down, that is. Now we have Champ Ferguson of the sports. What's going on over there, Champ?
Thanks, Ron. Well, today in sports, we were talking about how the banks are really enforcing their laws and cracking down.
Whammy!
When the banks don't follow the rules, they're regulated on, wait for it,
Whammy!
Let's use an even deeper example. One of the banks, Champ's Banks, was holding more than their allowed amount to the Federal Reserve, crushed my bank, and now there's no more banks. Back to you, Ron.
Well, alright. Anyway, and of course, even the Federal Reserve needs its own governing body, and that's where the Board of Governors comes in. It consists of 9 people. 6 are elected by the member commercial banks, and 3 people are appointed by the Board of Governors. Then the board selects a chairman and a deputy chairman. Wow! 9 people to control that much activity? You know they have an important job. And then you have the FOMC, which stands for Federal Open Market Committee. It is also changed by the Board of Governors, and they focus on the making and changing of the monetary policy. They choose which direction it will head in, and their decision on interest rates is one of the most anticipated events on the calendar. To continue about the monetary policy, this is the way the US government controls our economy. I mean, if we didn't have someone controlling all this stuff, we'd be an absolute mess. Think about it. If money supply grows too fast, then inflation rates will increase dramatically. But if money supply is slowed down, then economic growth can be slowed down. I mean, then we're always looking for price stability and maximum employment by managing the system of money and credit. Crazy, right? And now you have me thinking, all this talk about money, and we have to talk about the financial services. They are the economic services provided by the finance industry, and they manage all the credit unions, banks, credit card companies, insurance companies, accountancy companies, real estate funds, stock brokerages, and so on and so forth. This is just ridiculous. Now ready with our weather to just about wrap up today's show. We have Brick Thompson telling us about the banks and regions of the banks. Brick?
Thank you, Ron. As you can see by the map here, Ron! Somebody stole the map!
Would somebody please get him a map? Please? Someone?
Oh, okay, I see now. Okay, as you can see by the map here, you can see the U.S. is divided into 12 sections and is with its own assigned Federal Reserve Bank. Each bank is given a number between 1 and 12, and as well as its corresponding letter. These banks can include 1A in Boston, 2B in New York, 3C in Philadelphia, 4D in Cleveland, going all the way to 12L in San Francisco. Each of these banks are responsible for overseeing the rest of the banks in their districts. For example, 12L is responsible for 9 states and 2 territories. Each of these 12 reserves will regulate the laws passed by the Board of Governors, as well as conduct the financial services and monetary policy. They are also responsible for issuing out new bills that the U.S. Treasury prints. That's all we have for the regions today. Back to you, Ron.
Man, I've learned so much about the Federal Reserve today. Could you honestly tell me that you didn't, Foothill? Like, the purpose of the FED is to have a safe, flexible, and more stable monetary and financial system. And you have all these different parts working together to make it all happen. Then having the 12 different banks in charge of all the states that they provide for. And then you have the Board of Governors in charge of the 12 banks. And then we can't forget about the FOMC, all of our financial services, and that monetary policy. Would you look at that? We are just about out of time. So sad to go, but they do say that all good things must come to an end. Well, from all of us here at World News, I'm Ron Buelna. Stay classy, Foothill.